Greg Thornton. The name sent chills down the spines of anyone who had followed his case. He was the seemingly ordinary family man who had become a horrifying enigma. The details of his crimes were etched in the collective memory. The missing wives, the vanished children, the whispers of unimaginable cruelty. He had maintained his innocence for years, a smirk playing on his lips at every court appearance. But now Thornton had decided to talk. He wanted to confess. The news spread like wildfire. Victims' families, desperate for answers, clung to a sliver of hope for closure. Law enforcement, weary but resolute, prepared to face the monster once again. The world held its breath, bracing for the horrors Thornton was about to unleash. But this wasn't about justice. This wasn't about remorse. This was Greg Thornton's final act of manipulation, a macabre spectacle orchestrated to inflict the maximum amount of pain. This was his stage, and he was ready to deliver the performance of a lifetime. The interview room was cold, sterile. The only sounds were the hum of the fluorescent lights and the scratch of a pen on paper. Cole King, a seasoned journalist known for his unwavering demeanour and sharp mind, sat across from Thornton. King had spent years studying the case files, dissecting every detail, every inconsistency. He had stared into the abyss of Thornton's crimes, preparing himself for this moment. Thornton, dressed in the standard-issue orange jumpsuit, seemed relaxed, almost jovial, a stark contrast to the gravity of the situation. His eyes, however, held a glint of something cold, calculating. He was enjoying this, King realized, the attention, the fear, the power he still held. King met his gaze without flinching. He wouldn't give Thornton the satisfaction. This wasn't a game, not anymore. This was about getting answers, about giving a voice to the silenced victims.
So, Mr. Thornton, you've decided to confess. Why now, after all these years?
Thornton's smile widened, a chilling, predatory expression.
Let's just say I believe in leaving a lasting impression.
The words tumbled out of Thornton's mouth, each one a poisoned dart aimed at the heart of truth. He confessed to the murders of his first 3 wives, detailing each act with a chilling detachment that bordered on the clinical. Poison, suffocation, staged accidents. He spoke of ending their lives as casually as one might discuss the weather. King listened, his face an impassive mask. He scribbled notes, documenting the horrors unfolding before him. But behind his stoic facade, rage simmered. He fought to maintain his composure, to keep his focus on the task at hand. He wouldn't let Thornton see him crack. Then came the children. 7 of them, gone, erased from existence by the one person who had vowed to protect them. Thornton spoke of their deaths with a chilling indifference, his voice devoid of remorse. As he detailed their final moments, King could almost feel the room growing colder, the air thick with the weight of unspeakable sorrow. This was the confession the world had been waiting for, but nothing could have prepared them for the sheer depravity of his crimes. As Thornton spoke, a horrifying truth began to emerge. His crimes went far beyond the walls of his seemingly idyllic homes. He revealed a web of lies spun over decades, a secret life hidden in plain sight. He had maintained multiple families simultaneously, juggling wives and children like characters in a twisted play. Each family, unaware of the other's existence, had lived in a carefully constructed illusion. Each wife, each child, had been nothing more than a pawn in Thornton's game. The revelation sent shockwaves through the interview. It was a level of deception and depravity that defied comprehension. King, a seasoned journalist, found himself struggling to process the sheer scope of Thornton's deceit. The case, already complex, had spiraled into something far more sinister and far-reaching than he could have imagined. They were no longer dealing with isolated incidents. They were dealing with a monster who had built a dynasty of lies.